Guys, it's Benedict, and I will be doing a video here in the kitchen today. I'm doing a cooking video. The scope of my videos for cooking is things that you can cook on a budget, less than about 45 minutes, and aimed for people in college age, or at least on a budget or something like that. So if you want to bring it around real quick, so the ingredients for this is going to be a creamy mushroom sauce with pasta, creamy mushroom pasta sauce with mushroom sauce. So we have mushrooms here, we have basil, oregano, some garlic, some whipping cream that I already whipped up, and some parsley. Now, with all those different things, you can choose to do the parsley or the oregano or the basil. That's up to you. But for me, I have those things, and then also we're going to be adding some things that you're going to need. Olive oil, and I will be using some just regular Holland House cooking wine, some white cooking wine. So to get started, I'm going to turn on your pans. You want to have 2 pans. We're going to be heating up the front 2 here. And this is all these are on a scale of 1 to 7. So I'm doing this pretty much on medium heat here and medium high here. I'm going to be putting in some olive oil into both. And I will also be needing, where's my garlic? Some garlic in there. So I'm going to start with roasting a little bit of garlic. Just a little bit of garlic there. A little bit more. Get that going. And then I want to grab some butter. So I find that I'm going to add a little bit of butter and olive oil. Most people probably just do half and half butter, but I like olive oil, but I need the butter. So I'm doing half and half, and that's going to melt in a little bit. So the point of this, I'm making a butter and basically some flour, but I'll be making this gluten-free, so I'll be using cornstarch. So most people who are not gluten-free, I would recommend use just regular flour. Get that all nice and melted. This is starting to roast a little bit. Let's get that going. Bring that temp down a little bit. Alright guys, so I'm on to the prepping the onions and the mushrooms. As you can see here, we have the pre-prepped onions that I mentioned. So these are just sliced. I took an onion and I sliced it. I cut off the edges, sliced it in half, and then cut it in parts to make these half rings. It's pretty easy. So I am now prepping the mushrooms. So I'm just going to cut off a little bit of the end here, and then slice it a few times until I get what I want, and then go on to the next one. So the other one there didn't need it because I saw that it was already had a good, what's called a good foot on it. So I didn't bother cutting off that one. But if it looks like the one's particularly hard like this, that you're going to want to cut off. But some are going to look like this, and that's okay. That's good. You can leave that. So there you go. So I'm making some good progress, as you can see here. But again, I'm not perfect, of course. And I have had to realize some things. So first of all, over by the kitchen, I've turned off the burners because this is taking a little bit longer than I thought. I want to be careful with this. I'm not used to this knife. And I also am cutting it more than I thought it was going to be. So I am taking some more time with that. And also, I forgot to mention, I gave these a pre-wash, but when you're done, you can see on the cutting board here that there is some dirt and some stuff from the mushrooms on the undersides and whatnot. So make sure you are being sanitary with the mushrooms. They do grow in dirt, but they are very tasty. So just make sure you're washing them and keeping them free of dirt. So right now I'm adding the cornstarch. This is the butter and olive oil. Again, most people I think prefer to use just butter. I've mixed half butter and half olive oil. I like olive oil. I like the flavor. I think it gives it a little bit more flavor than just butter alone. So you can choose to do that if you want. Now I'm adding cornstarch. Again, if you're not gluten-free, flour I would recommend. And I'm just adding a little bit of cornstarch. I think that's pretty much all I want to use right there. And then I'm going to grab some sort of plastic spoon, something that you don't. If you don't have a non-stick pan, anything like this will work. But if you're using non-stick, you definitely, as usual, don't want to use metal on the non-stick surface. So you're just going to mix that up a little bit. I have the heat back on from before. I'm saying as I finish chopping up the mushrooms and the onions, and I will let you know once this is all set and mixed. So now I'm going to throw in the mushrooms here. I'm going to put the mushrooms here and let them saute a little bit. There's a little bit of water in there, but that's okay. That'll steam out. And the onions are going to go in. So that's going in with the roasted garlic. It's cooked, and I'm going to set the temp from medium-low to about medium-high, and let that start to really saute and pan-fry a bit. And then we can turn the temp down on this a little bit to about low, so that's still staying melted, not congealing, and also so it can thicken up just a little bit more. And let this sit for about, maybe 5 or 6 minutes, maybe 5 or 8, depending on how it looks and how much you have. And stir it occasionally, and then we'll come back. So right now we're at a good place for the sauce. So I'm going to now, I've lowered the temperature to low, and I was off for a moment while I started recording. So this is the whipped, this is cream that's partially whipped. It's thickened, but not whipped cream. So I'm going to then go ahead and pour that in there. That'll mellow out a little bit, so it's bubbling and sizzling. And then I'm going to add the thickening butter and oil, and and then we're going to really stir. I'm going to let that simmer down a little bit. Because I might have whipped it a little bit too much. It's looking a little bubbly, but that'll calm down once it heats up. So then I just wanted it on low so that it'll cool down. So I'm going to turn that a little bit more up to either 2.5 or 3. It might be different depending on the stove you're cooking on, but basically you just want it to be kind of between medium and low. That's all. All right, so at this point I have the sauce cooking on medium-low, and I've also, if you see, have poured myself a pot of water. So I make a pot of water. Now, depending on what noodles you're using, if you're using regular pasta, bring a pot of water to boil, and you know the rest. It's all on the box. For me, I'm using these rice noodles. So these actually these have to soak for a few minutes, I think like 10 minutes. And then it can be cooked in in almost like a minute or two. So it's only been, this has been simmering this sauce has been simmering for, I want to say, 3 or 4 minutes now, maybe 5. And so around now, I want to start to add some of the spices. So or some of the herbs, I should say. So I have some oregano. I'm just going to give it a little bit of oregano. Come on, it's not going to come out. There we go. A little bit of oregano. I have some parsley. Let's pop some parsley in there. All right. And I have some basil. Now this is some basil that's from the garden. You can choose whichever basil you like. And I'm just gonna, since it's kind of in leaf form, I'm gonna take in my hands and just kind of do that and rub them back and forth until they fall out. And hopefully no big sticks and twigs are going to come flying out of here. Gotta remove the sticks here. All the branches, little bits of branches. And there we go, just keep the rest of it. There we go, that's good. That smells good. I also think I want to add a little bit more garlic at this point. Because I do like garlic. I don't think, I'm not smelling the garlic as much as I'd like to. So let me grab the garlic, be right back. So I have the garlic and I have the noodles. I'm going to start with the noodles. I'm going to soak them. This is just cool water. And I'm going to place that in the cool water and I'm going to set the timer. And that's 10 minutes. And let's do this a bit more. And maybe one more. Why not? You can never have too much garlic, right? So, alright. Give that a stir. Let's see. There it is. There's the smell. And now I'm going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I like pepper. Some people don't prefer to cook with pepper. That's alright. You don't really need it. I like it, so I'm using it. And then salt. So this has been simmering for another 5 minutes. I put the wine in. It was just a little splash, just to give a little bit of flavor, and in about 15 seconds, the timer will go off for, I don't know what these are called, but there it is. Ooh, that's annoying. Yeah, thank you. So, alright. So, stirring that in, I think it's going to need to cook a little bit longer, just to heat up and kind of actually become al dente. Because it does say that you need to cook it for another 2 or 3 minutes afterwards. And then once that starts heating, I think I'm going to put in actually a little bit more pasta. Okay, a little extra, so now we have twice as much as before. And we'll cook this for another 2 minutes, and I'll show you what happens after 2 minutes. So I just finished transferring it, and this is what it looked like. And so that's it. So it took, we started cooking about 35 minutes ago. And so it took all of 35 minutes from start to finish, even with pausing to prepare vegetables and mushrooms and onions. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you want to see more stuff like this, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to click that like button and subscribe for more videos like it. Thanks, and I'm Benedict Breakfast. Enjoy.
I'm really going to try this. Let's see what happens. It's really good.
Like actually?
Really good.
All right, there you go.